All right, we are live with which. My God, we are live for what might probably be the last day of this Test series. After 2.5 months, here we are on the fifth day of the Test match, fifth Test match on the fourth day
Yeah,
of
true.
the Test match. Good
Damn,
Lord.
that's gone all over the
Yeah,
place.
but here we are, and it's great to see you guys here. Hi, Judge. Hi, Ritesh. Hi, Shrikant. I like how a lot of you guys were acknowledging each other and talking to each other. That's
Very
always
nice.
nice. Hi, Srinath. Like the stream, guys. Hey, thanks for that. Like the stream, if you guys haven't already, it'll push the stream out to a lot more people. We might just be a little, we might be here for a little longer today. I say longer, which means just 3:25. Only
Yeah,
because this might probably
probably be
be
the
our
last time.
last, yeah,
Yeah,
our last pre-match for the Test series, our last pre-match for a Test match
true.
for a while before
Damn.
we have the Asia Cups, the Women's World Cup, and then the India tour of West Indies at home.
But yeah,
Actually, West Indies tour of India at home.
Ritesh says hello, late Latifs. Ritesh, that's okay. I
I,
think we'll
s-
take that.
I saw her my orange juice. Hi, Vignesh. All right, there's a lot to talk about. There's a weather to talk about, the pitch, what India needs to do. I mean, the simple game plan is take 8 more wickets.
9.
Will
Yeah, 8.
yeah, will
Cook.
Ashwin oil up if oil up? Samrit, buddy. I think it was you who said that I look yoked or something, but no one's gonna oil up. Hi JB, Sriram's. Oh, hi Pavitra. Dab. Oh, Sriram's here. As in, are you Sriram? Guys, are you going to cover the ashes? Unfortunately, not. We'll make videos on it probably, but yeah. All right. So, like the stream, we shall get started with the pre-match. Let's talk about the pitch straight away, and let's see what might
Awesome. So,
happen.
pitch obviously has been an interesting one. Through the 3 days, we've seen seam and swing, and we have realized, or at least it's an observation that seems to be coming to some sort of effect, is that the second session or the middle session is where you see a lot of action happening from the pitch. Now, it might have to do with just the conditions around that period of the day, or also to do with the lacquer coming off the ball. That's something to keep in mind. But apart from that, in terms of conditions overhead, there is expected rainfall about 20% chance around 2 to 3 p.m. So that's something to watch out for. As of now, it does say that it's sunny. It'll be interesting to see if rain does come into the picture and if that in fact helps the Indian fast bowlers. So that's mostly it on the pitch. It'll be interesting also to see if there is turn, if the pitch is starting to crack open a little bit. Those are some things to watch out for. But I still think that pace is going to be key. It is going to be important for India to utilize the conditions, whatever little seam and swing movement they're getting, make the most of it.
All right, that's what the pitch is going to do. Let's talk about Wits against the Brits, and that's how the Indian team needs to do to get those 8 wickets. I think we started off pretty poorly yesterday with Prasidh Krishna bowling those couple of poor overs. Akashdeep did get it spot on. I think he was in good rhythm. And when Siraj came back on, I think he didn't take his time. It was first of all interesting to see him as first change bowler because he would always start the spell. But when Siraj started bowling and then when Prasidh Krishna was changed, he replaced Akashdeep. I think all three bowlers by the end of the day they were bowling brilliantly well. I think the captaincy was spot on in with the sweepers cutting off boundaries for Zach Crawley. And I think they should do the same thing today. We do know how the English team gets a high on boundaries. And the second Zach Crawley wasn't getting those boundaries, he almost looked stuck. And that's what almost caused a wicket. It was also brilliant captaincy with the bluff of setting a field for the short ball and Siraj's absolute ripper of a delivery bowling that Yorker. But yeah, the patterns of what the Indian team needs to do should be replicated from last night to today morning in terms of being able to cut those boundaries, setting those attacking fielders, but also being consistent with your line and lengths. The pitch has enough for the bowlers. Of course, it's a good deck to bat on. We saw that with India setting a target of 374. But for the Indian bowlers to be able to pick those wickets, they can't look for a wicket delivery every single ball. I think they need to be consistent, pitching it right up there pitching it right up there consistently with the line and lengths. They cannot stray down the leg side. I think Prasidh Krishna needs to avoid that. He needs to get it up there in terms of rhythm right from the start. And what I do say this, but I also think the Indian team shouldn't panic if we don't get a wicket in the first half because of a couple of reasons. The new ball is only 13 overs old, 13.5. Siraj will start off, of course, bowling that last over. I hope he continues with the spell with Akash Deep on the other end. I will be shocked if Akash Deep doesn't start in the morning. But right, like I was saying, the couple of reasons for why India shouldn't panic if the first star doesn't get you wickets. One, the heavy roller that the England batters will use. So the pitch would be a little flat in the morning, but most importantly, the second is the fact that the ball is only 13.5 overs old. We have seen a very interesting pattern in this test match as the that is that as the ball gets older, the ball starts doing a lot more, and that is what the Indian team will need to wait for. Wait until the 15, 20, 20th over mark, or even 25 for that matter. But most importantly, make sure that the English batters aren't getting away by the end of the 25 over mark, because you need that. You need the runs, and you have seen this with Gill, where as soon as the English batters start getting away, Gill looks a little flustered. His captaincy won't be on the line today, but it will be a very critical point today, and it is something a lot of people will talk about, even if the result goes either way, because we are predicting that by the end of the day there will be a result. But yes. Wait till the 25 over mark. Make sure your fielders are tight, you're attacking, but also making sure you have those sweepers, making sure that the English batters aren't getting a high on the boundary. And the three bowlers getting it spot on straight away. Easier said than done, but this is what they need to do. All right, let's go to win, fin to win. I
Yeah.
can't pronounce the F. All right.
Ashwin's stacked up with a lot of cold. But yeah, whoever's just joining in, drop a like so we can push this stream out to more people. As for Finn to win, the players to watch out for, obviously, it is going to be from mostly a bowling perspective. And I expect Mohammad Siraj and Akashdeep to sort of come good anyways. They have been in some sort of rhythm. But what I'm really excited to see is how Prasidh Krishna will go. He did have a decent outing in the first innings and he really cranked it up in that one spell. I would expect him to be able to replicate that today, especially when you know that there's so much to play for. You have the series on the line. If Prasidh can come good today, he might just be our X factor. So that's one bowler who I also talked about in the first innings as one to watch out for. He did deliver. India will want the same from him. He also has that aggression, can have that little bit of chatter going, and that will be needed to sort of rile up our fast bowlers and also to distract the English batters. That's one thing. You also have spin. I don't know how much of spin is going to come into the picture. It will also depend on how the English batters are facing up. If our fast bowlers just keep bowling well, then there might not be as much need for spin other than for probably holding up one end or trying to switch things up. But if spin does come into the picture, then I think Washington Sundar might have some role to play. And yeah, really, that's all about what the players are to watch out for. Gill's captaincy, once again, as Ashwin already talked about, is something that will definitely be looked at with a lot of detail. He's got a really good chance to win this match and draw the series for India. So that is something that, from a Gill or from a captaincy perspective, will be looked at.
All right, let's go to what's lit in Brit, and those are a couple of things to observe and to watch out for. First
Mm.
will be conditions, how the new ball does. We already talked about how it's only, let's say, 14 overs old. But yeah, I don't think the Indian bowlers should expect a lot with the new ball. I think there will be swing, but I don't think there'll be that big amount of seam that we saw from the first innings with the Indian bowlers. We will need to wait for the ball to get a little older.
True. And yeah, I think overhead might be important because
True.
even if there are, say, stoppages due to rain, with the English batters having a constant rhythm break, but you also need to remember that it's the same for the fielding side. Like if India is in the middle of a really good bowling
Yeah,
spell and
true.
there's suddenly rain, and then you just come back and you're all over the place. So it will be important. It's easier said than done, but switching on, switching off, just
True.
making sure that you are in a good headspace as an Indian player to be able to come and deliver.
Yeah, match will be over by T is a bit of a stretch.
Yeah.
Getting 324 runs in 2 sessions, even if
Mm,
England want to win,
yeah,
that's a stretch, I would say.
true.
324 runs is a while away, right? So
It is.
that's also why I said even if in the first session, in fact, if you don't get a wicket, I don't think India should worry. Let's just say they're 150 for one. I don't know by end of when. I still don't think India have anything to worry about as such, because a wicket will cause a crumble, and
Yeah.
that's what you need to do. I think Ben Duckett's wicket will be really, really important today, because when you have Joe Root and Ollie Pope, you can at least control the run rate as long as we're bowling well. Ben Duckett, on the other hand, creates different kind of shots, make sure he's putting bowler off the mark, very Rishabh Pant like. Also, why after Ollie Pope and Joe Root, Harry Brook will be someone to watch out for, in the sense that he also creates things. He steps out, he plays those sweeps, he plays those lap shots, same way as Ben Duckett. And these are the sandwich. This is the sandwich that Indian players need to watch out for, in the sense that you will need to get that wicket. Of course, Joe Root and Ollie Pope and Jacob Bethel probably are important wickets, but you can control the runs with these guys batting. Except with Brook and Ben Duckett, they create stuff. So yeah,
It will come down also to who cracks first because I think, as you said rightfully, especially when it comes to someone like a Ruta Pope, you can sort of get into a plan, you can set them up, you can play time, you can play the patience game.
true.
But the moment someone like Duckett or Brook or even Jamie Smith for that
Yeah.
matter, if they start
Oh
going
yeah,
for
even
it,
Jamie Smith.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. There is, to be honest, there's a long batting lineup
Yeah.
to come. Gus Atkinson has a test century. So by no means is this game definitely in India's grasp,
True.
but I would like to say that India have the upper hand, especially after how yesterday ended.
Yep.
Psychologically, India should be ahead in this encounter.
All right, then let's go to a little interesting bit of stats, quick wit and Brit, and these are a couple of stats in front of you.
Awesome. Now, the first one, obviously, this has been an absolute run fest. So, there is going to be some individual run related stuff. For the first time ever, three Indians have scored 500 plus runs in a single test series. It could have been four if Rishabh Pant wasn't injured, but here we are. I think it's already been historic as it is. 1131, that is Jadeja's tally, batting at number 6 in England, which is the most in that particular position for any player in any country. 754, the second highest tally in terms of number of runs by a captain. Shubman Gill obviously got this. He's second only to Sir Don Bradman, who's got this in the Ashes of 1936. 79.6% of the runs that were scored by Jaiswal in his century yesterday were behind square on the offside. You'll remember that he was cutting a fair bit, something that we spoke about extensively. But here's the interesting bit, right? This is the most number of runs scored behind square on the offside since ball tracking and wagon wheel started back in 2003 in tests. So very specific stat, but just goes to show how productive that area has been for him in run scoring. And of course, England dropping 6 catches in the innings yesterday is the most that they've dropped in a test innings since 2018.
All right, these are a couple of stats. We have a very interesting technical tidbit also because we still have Ben Duckett batting. And so it says same bat, two angles. And I say this because if you watch yesterday, if you watch Siraj running into ball to Ben Duckett, he was coming over the wicket, trying to get the ball to swing in, but also seam out. So there are two wickets that he's looking for. That's LBW trying to get the ball to swing back in, or when the ball nips out, or even goes with the angle because he's coming over the wicket. He's trying to get the outside edge of Ben Duckett. If you look at Akash Deep, he's trying the exact same thing, but in an opposite way, right? Akash Deep is coming around the wicket to Ben Duckett, angling the ball in, and if he's lucky enough, it might just pitch and nip out. So again, he's looking for those same two dismissals, LBW with the ball angling in, because Akash Deep likes to bowl stump to left-handers, especially closer, not giving room to Ben Duckett. So he's trying to angle the ball back in. We saw a big in-swinger from Akash Deep yesterday. So he's trying to do that to Ben Duckett, get the LBW, but also he might pitch it a little short, hoping that the ball nips out and gets the outside edge. Very clever thinking. These are two different ideas for the same kind of bowlers in the sense that they're right arm fast bowlers, but Siraj coming over the wicket and Akash Deep coming around the wicket. And this is something to look at today because if these plans don't work, don't be surprised if they switch it up. Akash Deep might come over the wicket and Siraj might come around the wicket. So these are something to observe. These are things to observe. And even with Prasidh Krishna, he started with over the wicket yesterday and he also went around the wicket. So same kind of bowlers, all three are right arm fast bowlers, but different plans to the same kind of batter is a very interesting observation to make. And it's also something we will talk about in a watch long, whenever that may be, or our post. So, yeah, just few interesting things to watch out for and to think about. All right, let's go to addressing your chits. About the watch along, I don't promise you guys we'll start at 10:15 because we don't know when the match might just end.
Yeah.
For all we know, it might rain half of the day and the match might not end today if
True.
it does. But yeah, we will keep you guys updated. We'll put a link up. If the match is going to end sooner than we think, even
Yeah.
if that's with England batting or India bowling, we will start the watch along early and have the post very early too on the same live, of course. All right. Right. Sudarshan? Right. I can't annoy. Oh, right. This whole other conversation. You can get the. Wow, you guys are talking about something I have no idea what you guys are talking about. Oh, also today for the watch along, I'll try to get the scorecard in on the screen. Sorry, the Google scorecard so that it gets updated on the screen. I should have done this yesterday, but here we are.
We try.
Yeah. What are you guys talking about?
Damn, I like how there is some conversation about modded APKs. I'm
Yeah.
so
Hey
confused.
Nimesh, of course you're tuning in from Virginia. I appreciate
What's up,
that.
Nimesh?
Vokes could create such an iconic moment today, like so many iconic moments. Reminds me of Pant with a broken foot, Ashwin with an
Hmm.
injured back, Rohit in his third. That that is something I
Dude,
did not
I have
expect.
seen this particular phrase about Rohit Sharma on like reels in memes.
Yeah, I didn't think that the comment was going there. It was so.
You know, if you're going to be making these comments, at least send it with a super chat, dude. It's highlighted.
And Kumble's broken jaw, and Graham Smith's broken hand. There's
Yeah,
so many examples over the years. I will be a little surprised if Chris Fox comes only because it's a dislocated shoulder. How are you
yeah,
holding the bat?
yeah,
You
true.
can't possibly move your shoulder. It's
Or he just stands and he just.
I mean, Michael Vaughan talked about, yes, Rishabh
Hmm.
Pant's heroic was applauded in the last game, but it wouldn't make sense for Chris Fox to do that today.
True.
Only because he's doubtful for the Ashes, which is end of the year. And if that's the case, you really want to risk your hand even more. All right. Pro is already 34. Damn. Why do I feel so pessimistic today? Because you're right to feel pessimistic today. I mean, the pitch is good to bat on. You can score those 300 runs. And England have shown in this series, in fact, that they can
Exactly.
break world records
Yeah.
to chase down targets. So I don't blame you for feeling pessimistic. I just feel like also because we don't have a Bumrah and also because we have a Prasid Krishna who was an absolute 12-year-old in the first two matches. And so, yeah, I don't blame you for this. I just think India have a good chance if we just do what we did yesterday. It's not even about wickets for me. If we are able to cut down those boundaries and just start bowling well, start bowling consistently, the game will be ours. Right. Oh shit, interesting stat. All of injured England bowlers have taken KL Rahul's wicket.
Oh yeah, this was something we saw on Twitter as well. And also, Pant got injured. He was running with KL Rahul and there was a run out. So this food for thought.
Yeah. Bumrah is not playing, we will definitely win this match. I know it's a sarcastic
It'll
thing, but
be it'll be hilarious though if it happens. And there's all likeliness that it might. I just want to see what happens to the fan wars after that.
hey, I'm just working on Cricket GPT app. I
Oh,
watch your stats and all, and I want to send it to you guys so you can have a look at the beta. Are you up for it, Dimesh?
100%.
Of course, we're up for it. We can also get on a call and everything.
Yeah.
We have our email IDs in the description. I'm hoping you already follow us on Instagram. If you don't, all of that's in the description. So if you
Yeah.
want to get in touch, do that. We'll be up for it. We can get
Mm.
on a call, chat. If we can help you guys, if we can help you with the app itself, we can also do that too. Right. Is Tung the best bowler of the series? Like he has 19 wickets in 3 matches. Others did it in 4 and 5.
Yeah, so here's the thing with Tongue, right? I think very similar to Bumrah in the sense that he creates a very weird angle because of how he releases the ball, which has been a problem for a lot of batters. But something that's underrated and something he's really good at is cleaning up the tail. I think through basically all of the innings that we've seen of him, he has been able to mostly come in and clear out the batting the tail enders basically. Uh, and yeah, I think it's a shame that he didn't play all the test matches, but he's clearly shown that he has the pedigree.
So Nasir Hussain's talked about the pitch, and he's talked about how Surrey don't play spinners here at all.
Hmm.
The pitch has got the same amount of grass. Oh yeah, so interestingly, this is something they talked about in comms. This pitch wasn't necessarily created for this match. This pitch was the exact kind of pitch used for every county game that Surrey played on this ground. So 8 millimeters
Yes.
length is
Yeah.
the grass, and it's the same thing that was used in county games. So this pitch wasn't because it's the fifth test of all the speculation going around.
Yeah.
It's the same kind of pitch used in county cricket. All right. So, but there are patches drying up, which could offer turn later in the day, possibly, but seamers remain the same threat.
That's fair. Yeah.
Right.
Lads, hit like.
Sun is shining beautifully in London, no clouds yet. Zappy, thanks for that update. If you
Oh.
are in London, that's pretty cool.
That's very interesting because in the chat sometime back, someone's friends at the stadium and it's cloudy there.
Uh,
So, yeah, nice.
your video is so refreshing and interesting. Anush, thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
that. Appreciate that a lot. Shrikant, well. Siraj using 3-4 quarter seam and bounce with old ball. Prasid bounce with help him with old ball.
Hmm.
Akashdeep, I mean, the pitch is still seaming quite a bit and he's
Uh,
consistent enough. He doesn't need bounce to get wickets. And we saw that in Australia as well.
Akashdeep, in fact, if you want to get really technical about it, there are some times when we talk about how he's similar to Shami. That's in the sense of just his backspin and his wrist and how much he gets the ball to do, which is why you'll also see him whenever he hits that good length ish. There are times when he gets the ball to like bounce up or just seam really sharply. And so I think that's good enough for Akashdeep. Even on the flattest of pitches, he's shown that he has something of an X factor that he can bring. So just expect him to be consistent.
Akash, I would say if he could reverse, I don't think the reverse swing
Mm,
could be a factor. We haven't seen a lot of reverse, and the outfield is such, it's so heavy with grass.
true.
I'll be surprised with. Yeah, are
What?
Prate Pramnik asked
Pramani.
for Pramanik. Sorry, wow. Asked for Praatibh predictions. There's
Nice.
four piece. We'll get
Damn.
to. I'm sorry to butcher your name. This is why I
Poppies.
don't say names.
Pizza.
Yeah, but we'll come to the Praatibh predictions in a bit. The weather here is good, Shrikant says.
You can't. Aren't you in Bangalore? But yeah, the weather is pretty good.
Yeah. Not today, but in the home series. I don't know who Centurion is talking about. I don't think Spin. All right. Oh, I think you're talking about Washington Sundar, if I'm not wrong. To get Duckett, needs to bowl it straight on off stump and just outside the off stump to get him driving. Anything short, he'll punish. Exactly
Yeah.
what Akashdeep and Siraj are trying to do. Not give him a lot of room and let him play those attacking shots.
Yeah, you'd rather force the cause than just serve it on a plate to these batters, right? And Akash has a really good matchup with Ben Duckett, so expect him to get
Damn.
wickets. What?
Srivatsava asked, Pratip, did you go to Frontiers
Oh
after
yeah,
Ryan?
I did. Srivatsav, I think I know exactly who you are.
God.
Are you still in Bangalore?
There was temporary lockdown near Oval sometime after the day ended. All the shops were shut and the people were panicking. Apparently, Rohit.
We're back with the. Damn, I want to read
Samrit.
the.
I'm not reading the entire thing. That was. Dude, your comments go from up to, oh my god, I can't read this out loud. Which is great. I enjoy the humor, it's just something I can't read it out loud. Alright, weather here is nice. I was talking about Akash learning reverse swing. No, I think
Oh,
it's not the component of learning reverse swing, it's the ability to reverse swing on that ground
yeah,
given the environment. We haven't seen a hint of reverse swing in this test match. I'm sure Akashdeep, so he has the pace, he's able to put the revolutions behind the ball.
yeah.
In fact, yeah, all Indian bowlers have the pace.
If anyone, I think Akashdeep would be very
Yeah,
likely to, in
exactly.
this pack, to be able to reverse the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not his ability, but the ability for the ball to reverse given the conditions,
Mm.
if that makes sense. All right. Prasad, Arshdeep, Anshul, better bowlers in Indian pitches, and India goes to third bowlers in tests. I mean, the bowlers that we have are good enough for Jasprit Bumrah is in
Yeah.
fact is a beast in Indian conditions. Siraj
True.
does decently well. You know, something we are going to make a reel on, and I hope you guys in the chat agree with this. As much as Siraj is a workhorse and is doing really well, the
Mm.
hate that Jasprit Bumrah is getting
Yeah,
on the
it's a bit
contrary,
unwarranted. Yeah.
not only unwarranted, it's something that you would do if you weren't watching enough cricket.
Mm.
It's not even about workload and all of that. Sure, Bumrah hasn't played all the test matches and Siraj has, and you praise Siraj, but you can't praise Siraj and then hate on Bumrah because that makes absolute no sense. Because even if you watch our video and even if you don't, it wasn't a surprise to us that Bumrah has bowled the most amount of overs in the last 2 years. And I don't think people realize that enough. And it's such recency bias because Bumrah played all 5 test matches in Perth, bowled most, not Perth, in Australia, bowled most number of overs, got most number of wickets. Yet in this test series, just because it's hyped, oh, I have so much to say. Like, I have so much anger filled. It's, it's times like this I feel like we don't deserve players like Bumrah.
Watch out for the reel.
JB, when he plays, we ain't winning, boys. The hate is just fed. I know Srikanth, you're joking. Yeah.
He says also.
Dude, unreal hate like for no reason. It's just unemployment rates increasing. It's not just that. It's the social media. The
Yeah.
people who don't watch Test cricket watch those 5 minutes. Watch Siraj get those wickets, and you're like, hey, Siraj is playing. Bumrah is not. Bumrah is shit.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's also what gets the clicks, right?
Yeah.
So everyone just gets on the bandwagon.
Watching the highlights of Jurel wicket, one a side of the ball had real good shine in it. It was 76 overs old. Is it good ball protection or something else? No, it's just good ball
Yeah,
protection.
it's I mean, if you're indicating that they've done something with the ball, I don't think that's the
I mean,
case.
I think
Yeah,
he's joking. But I also don't think that was reverse swing.
yeah, it wasn't worse.
Yeah. Bumrah was the beast. Bumrah was a beast in Australia. For real, the hate is unwarranted, of course.
Yeah,
Will spin be an advantage today?
spin. No, I don't know if it's an advantage. The only advantage is that we actually have two bowlers who can ball spin. Now, at least with Jaddu, you know that he will try his best and contain. With
True.
Washi, he could get you wickets, but I think it's pace that's going to do most of the work.
Yeah. Josh Sung has taken 19 wickets in 6 innings. Yeah, he has.
Yeah.
Hey guys, how are you? Hey.
We're good.
What are your thoughts? Will we win today? RB 30-40 runs short. I thought maybe Tudel had the chance to get those and get us to 400 and create a psychological pressure.
I see. I think in terms of psychological pressure, we're already there because the highest score that's ever been chased here is 253.
True.
Of course, I will say that if any English side is to get this result, it is this particular side. But if forgetting that they're firstly one batter short, they're
Yeah.
missing Stokes, that all of that comes into the picture, I think we have enough runs on the board. We just need to be consistent with the ball and we need to be patient more importantly.
The only reason why people try to hate in Siraj and Bumrah is Siraj not getting wickets when Bumrah is around and Bumrah in the squad, we ain't winning. I
But to
mean,
be fair, even that's not true. Like
yeah.
Siraj has still got wickets. In fact,
And
now
we
he's
have one with Bumrah.
yeah, true. It's just this recent patch where it's just
Yeah.
happened that way.
Right. But someone should tell Jasprit to become first change. I might agree with that, but
Mm.
we've also seen when he has a good run with the new ball in the 30 minutes, he took 3 wickets, I think, in the
Yeah,
fourth
true.
test match, I think, or the third test match.
So
And so for him to do that, Bumrah can do that, and that's why you have him. How do we stop Prasid? We don't stop Prasid. Oh, interesting.
we leave him free.
How do we get Root out is
Yeah.
a very good question. In the in the first innings, we saw Siraj have a nip backer. That is something Root tries to avoid with his
Yeah.
stance and the way he bats. And that is one very good way to get Root out. Something I do want to say, I think Akashdeep would be a good component against Joe Root. And I feel like Akashdeep is one of those bowlers that Joe Root will chase outside the off stump. And I feel like if not for Siraj, I think Akashdeep might just get Joe Root out today.
Yeah, I think the key with Joe Root is also to make him play as close to the stumps as possible.
True.
You want to challenge both his edges, basically.
What's the meaning of Praatibh?
We'll leave this for some other day.
Siraj was seen bowling way too many full tosses in the nets today, and it's a huge concern for India. Nearby journalists suspect that he was seen eat. Dude, Samrit. Man's gone
My
on.
camera stopped.
Oh, yeah.
That's weird.
I didn't even realize.
I'm back. I'm back.
I don't think you're back. Oh, you are back. Right. Pat Cummins always accepts to be first change bowlers. Why can't Bumrah do that as well? Because Pat Cummins is not necessarily a swing bowler, or
Yeah.
to be fair, even Hazelwood isn't. But Hazelwood gets a lot more with the new ball than Pat Cummins. It's not accepting. Pat Cummins is just doing that because he's a better first change bowler than Hazelwood and Stark, because Hazelwood and Stark are better new ball bowlers.
You should also. There's actually a very interesting stat that since these three have started bowling together, Pat Cummins has barely ever taken the new
Yeah,
ball.
this is even before his captaincy. This
Yeah.
has nothing to do with his captaincy.
True.
Not hating on Bumrah at all, but it's frustrating that Siraj doesn't get the same level of care if there's workload management for Bumrah. Okay, see, I completely disagree with this. Workload management depends on your body and the player that you are. If Siraj is ready to play all 5 test matches, it's okay. Bumrah is not, because he's just almost had a career ending. I don't think people realize what a stress fracture on the back means for a fast bowler. Not only are you told to take rest for 6-7 months without doing anything, even after the rest, you have to take 2-3 months break because the bone doesn't completely heal in those 6-7 months. And I don't think people realize this. Jasprit Bumrah almost had a career-ending injury, not a test match, not a test format-ending
Yeah.
injury, just
Yeah.
career-ending. He might not be able to bowl the way he does again. And Bumrah needs to be taken care of because he's also the best test bowler the country has ever seen. Siraj hasn't had that injury yet because of the bowler that he is, the body that he has, the action that he has. If he wants workload management, he will get that. And it's just that. I don't understand the unequal treatment. I'm sure Siraj talked about this yesterday. He talked
Mm.
about how he doesn't care about workload
Yeah, he
because
just wants to play for India.
he wants to bowl. Bumrah can't afford to just bowl because his one over might just end his entire career. We saw that with Dale Steyn, and we talk about if Dale Steyn was managed enough, if Dale Steyn played more matches, you want Bumrah to be able to play more matches. Good lord. How do you think the series would have fared if Atkinson was playing from the first test? Would Gill score 755 runs? Speaking of which, 774 stands still strong.
See, that becomes a lot of speculation because it's like saying if Sai Sudarshan had played all games or if Karunar had not got any game. So, yeah, very speculative. However, I will say that Atkinson is someone that for that one season of Test cricket where he came, he just grabbed the format by the neck. He got a lot of runs, he got a lot of wickets. I think 60 odd wickets in like 10, 15 tests. So,
True.
He started off really well. He is a really good bowler. India are lucky that he wasn't playing the entire series, but I don't think that the Indian players would not have found a way to play him out.
Yeah, that's true. A video on Dale Steyn. We'll do that when India plays South Africa. We'll make a video on Dale
We'll do it.
Steyn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Heard somewhere that once you are recovering from injury and back, you have
Mm.
to have 8 months to return back to peak, as it takes that much time to replenish the calcium. Yeah, there is something like that. And
You also saw it on the video.
oh, in your video.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Spoke about bone density because even after the
alright.
6-8 months of recovery, it takes another 6-8 months for the bone density
Yeah.
to come back to the normal level.
Yeah, I just don't think people. Good luck. Guys, English players dropping so many catches. Was it a ball sighting issue or just drops like, Are? Yes,
But yeah,
but fair.
ball
I,
sighting, a bit of ball sighting as well.
yeah,
But some are
maybe.
absolute dollies.
Yeah, that's true. I think they just weren't on it. I think it's just one of those days where, as a team, you just yeah drop those catches. Yeah, we'll be here for a couple of minutes before we go away. I think you know what I'm gonna do after this. I'm gonna make that just with Bumrah reel, just because I'm fired up.
Interact with it.
Sledging route will be a way to rattle him. Interestingly, yeah, that's
I
not something a
wonder.
lot of teams do, and we
Hmm.
did that in the first innings, and we got. But we didn't get his first. We didn't get his wicket because he was rattled. It was just a
No,
bloody good delivery.
true.
Siraj has a free flowing action unlike Bumrah, so he wouldn't need much workload management. We need someone to have action and fitness like Siraj and effectiveness as Bumrah. Arey? Wow.
Damn, y'all are basically asking for the greatest fast bowler that never lived.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. My dark horse for today is Jacob Bethel. Yeah, Jacob Bethel did get an outstanding delivery, to say the least, in the first innings. A very similar ball to Zach Crawley, except different angles.
Hmm.
The commentators also said apparently they are tired as it's the last fielding innings for them.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
Obviously, psychologically, you've just been out for so long. You just want it to end.
Dinesh Karthik was talking about Jamie Smith yesterday
Hmm.
while he was wicket
Oh,
keeping,
yeah.
and almost every ball he just looks so exhausted. I like Dinesh Karthik when he brought up the wicket keeping aspect. We talk about bowlers' workload management, we talk about fielders, batters. That man has kept every single ball that the English bowlers have bowled. Every single. And they've bowled the most amount of overs in this series, more than
They
the
have.
Indian bowlers,
They
I'm
have. Yeah.
assuming. I mean, logically would make sense. And yeah, and Jamie Smith has done every single ball of that. I mean, Dhruv Jurel and Rishabh Pant have got breaks because they've not kept the entire series. Jamie Smith has done everything. Oh, it's insane what that man has done. Yeah, what did Prasid even say yesterday that Root got so worked up? It was not yesterday, was it? It was day before yesterday. England
Yeah.
didn't bat
Yeah,
and then
day
bat
before.
yesterday. Day before.
But yeah, I don't know. It's probably just one of those things where Root finally snapped for
Yeah.
once. Yeah.
Just like the recent Jared Kimber collab, I hope you guys in the future get to link up with cricket podcasts like TGC, Analyst Prasanna, and others. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. Able to connect with him, and this is a story which Shiresh, former Mumbai cricketer, has mentioned in Cyrus podcast show. All right, we'll do that.
Hmm.
All right, we'll take one last question and then we'll end this live. Atkinson is like a Boland. He enjoys playing and taking wickets. Against my unpopular opinion will always be that if Boland didn't play the BGT, it could have been 2-2. Could Atkinson didn't. Interesting. Fair.
Fair take. Arvind did say that Pat Cummins exists. So there is a bowler with Siraj's this thing and
To be
Bumrah's.
fair, yeah.
Pat,
Yeah,
that's a
I'll
good shout.
take that.
Yeah.
To be fair, yeah. You know, interestingly, a lot of people will also talk. I mean, they help talk. Doesn't matter. This is not a total flat wicket, so I don't think we're seeing stupid 350, 370 plus chases today, except expect a normal fourth innings crash.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know if they'll crash, but yeah, expect that to be the case. India have to do really well
Yeah.
to not win this match.
This is where we'll get into the PP. And that's Praatibh predictions. Who's going to be the highest wicket taker? Okay, couple of questions, right? Who's going to be the highest wicket taker for the Indian team in this innings? Who's going to get Ben Duckett out? And who's going to win the match? And when are they going to win the match?
Damn. Akashdeep is going to get Ben Duckett out.
Fair.
Prasidh Krishna is going to get the most wickets.
Oh, interesting.
And who's going to win the match? I want to say India. When
Bye?
is it? Oh, bye. Somewhere around T today.
Fair. Those are the Praatibh predictions for you. And this is hopefully a live, last
Live.
a last pre-match for the test series. All right, then. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys so much for supporting us. We will, of course, come post-match. We will let you know when we're doing the watch-along because
Yeah.
depending on how the day plays out, when and where the wickets fall. So,
Keep
yeah.
all your notifications on so that you don't miss it.
Yes.
Someone's asked for a Pat Cummins video. We've already made that. You can check it out.
Oh, yeah, that's true. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. We'll see you guys later. Peace.